Hi guys, and welcome again to Universal Scroll. This is going to be the second part of the message that I told you that I received from God when I was reading the scriptures in Isaiah. So if you have not watched the first video, please check it here and watch it before you watch this one so that you can gain better insight and it can flow properly. So I'm going to be continuing from where I stopped, and this part is going to be from Isaiah chapter 3 and 4. As I was reading it, the Lord was laying certain things in my heart, and I'm going to be sharing that with everyone here. So it says that God will remove the supply and the support and sustenance of Nigeria, and also remove the brave people, the judges, the prophets, diviners, captains, men of honor, counselors, expert artisans, skillful workers. God is going to be removing these skillful people, these noble people, these very good working, skillful hands from the country. This is about Nigeria that I heard particularly for. There are two sides of this message, so I'm going to be sharing that as well. So please, if you're not a Nigerian, doesn't mean you should turn off, because this is not only for Nigeria. There's another part of the message that is about the entire world and what God is doing. So it's a two-part message. So he says that he's going to be removing the skillful hands from Nigeria. And when God said this, I started to look around and I was like, okay, God's actually already doing that, because in Nigeria there's a huge level of skillful workers leaving the country. A lot of skillful doctors, when they graduate, they are working in Nigeria, they begin to apply and they get out of Nigeria to go to Canada, to go to the UK, to go to the US, to go to Germany, to go to different countries. Like a lot of skillful workers. I remember in a particular hospital, whenever I go there, I'll just hear that the doctor has left the country, and I'm always hearing that a lot of doctors are leaving the country, a lot of lawyers are leaving the country, a lot of skillful workers, many people are leaving the country, and not just anyhow people, but skillful workers, like as the Bible says here, brave people, judges, prophets, captains, men of honor, counselors, expert artisans, skillful workers. These people are leaving the country, and Bible was saying that I should look at what is happening in Nigeria, and he's doing that in Nigeria. So it says, in a nutshell, great men and women will leave Nigeria, and mere boys will become rulers. So mere men will become rulers. Mere men will become rulers, and he's doing that for a reason. But there's also going to be a remnant. So it doesn't mean that only God's people are going to leave the country and only people that are not God's children that will remain in the country. That is not what God is saying. I want to emphasize that God is not saying that only Christians will leave, only his children will leave. There are going to be some remnants, his children that he has sent here, has told to remain here for this season. So it's not every Christian, it's not every of God's children that are assigned to leave. And this is why you have to actually be praying and listening to God, so that you align with his will, to know whether he's telling you to stay or asking you to go, so that you do not stay where you are not supposed to stay, and you do not go when you're supposed to go. So it's not for you to just follow the crowd and say, okay, people are leaving this country, let me start voting. It's for you to wait and hear for yourself. So it's going to be keeping a remnant. I'm going to be talking about that later on. It says he's going to be leaving some remnant. But let me talk about why, because I was asking God, like, why are you doing this? And remember that I released a video not too long ago about Nigeria, and how God is going to redeem Nigeria, because he's not just doing this because he just wants to let good people to live and destroy the world. No, he's actually going to redeem Nigeria. Nigeria is heading for redemption. But before that redemption comes, there's going to be a phase where he's going to be removing the evil and dealing with the evildoers, and then putting his kingdom there. So let me say what the Lord revealed to me as to why he's doing it. It says, because Nigerians are partial, and secondly, because they are displaying sin in the open without shame. And when God said this, my eye became open. I began to see clearly like what is happening. Now, if you're a Nigerian, before even Christianity came to Nigeria, I'm saying it again, before Christianity even came to Nigerians were somewhat moral, in a sense, where people used to be virgins before they got married, because they would check you before you get married. If you're not a virgin, you'll be disgraced. People did not just used to steal anyhow because Ogun will fire you. People had, like, there were moral standards in the society. People were not free to do immorality in the open like that. Yes, they were not Christians, but there was a sense of morality. There was a sense of behaving right, even though they were not necessarily Christians. So there was a standard. People were not free to just do promiscuity in the open like that. I'm not saying that it did not exist, but it was not as boldly done as at now. But today in Nigeria, we see that there's an increased open display of evil, of display of sin in the open. Now, I look at Big Brother. People say Big Brother is bad, but I keep on saying this, that Big Brother did not have a script that people should be bad when they enter inside. Big Brother shows the way the Nigerians are, where Nigerians will call you boring if you're acting all right and simple and doing things just, calmly and behaving yourself. If you're not being loud and perverse and misbehaving and showing yourself, your body, people will not like you and will not vote for you. They'll call you boring. So it is what Nigerians made of the show that it became what it is today, and not what it actually was designed for. It is what you make of it, is what you decide to do in the house that you are told to do. So it shows the perversion in the country, where we praise evil, we praise promiscuity, we praise sin, and those who are not acting in sin, we shun it and we pull it down. We see now in Nigeria that people are going on social media to begin to do their babalawo things, selling all sorts of favor oils, selling all sorts of creams and enchantments and all sorts that say that they will help you to get money from people, that will make you to be able to say a thing and you'll be listening to favor oil, this one oil, this one charm, kayamata and the like. So many diabolical things are now being said and put in the open. You even see influencers supporting these things. Like, it is ridiculous. Now it is out there in the open. People are praising evil, people are praising sexual immorality, people are praising perversions, and it's being clapped about. And even Christians will see these things and they might not necessarily agree with it in the lifestyle, but they laugh about it, they share it, they feel very okay when it is done. They don't have that righteous anger when they see these kind of things. Instead, they just feel like, what's so there? And everything is there. God looks at these things and he frowns on these things and is irritated by it. And he's saying, because of this display, this public display of sin without shame, he is really upset. And he's also saying that because of the partiality that's going on in Nigeria, there's a huge level of partiality going on in the country. If you are even blind, you can see it. Like, it is so obvious where people just get things because of who they know. Things are no longer just because of your merit, but because of who you know. Partiality, favoritism, and all of these things are going on in the country. And God says particularly that because Nigerians are partial and they're displaying sin in the open without shame, and children oppress their elders and women rule. So you're seeing that this is because of all of these things that are happening in the country. That is why these things are the way it is. And it says that the women in Nigeria are proud and are seductive, so God will take away their beauty and pride of these women, and even their men will be killed. That's what it says. Because the women are proud, are seductive, they're all about the whole physique and increasing the boobs, increasing their butts, making themselves extra curvy and all of that. They're all about the sexualizing themselves and perversions and all of that. Is going to take away the beauty that he has given the women, and it's going to also make the men also go. You are seeing that there are a lot of killings going on in the country. It's already happening around us, and we need to rise up as a nation and pray. But last it's still going to head in redemption for the country. And afterwards, the Bible says here that God will restore the nation with glory and brilliance and his divine protection. I want to read that again, because sometimes we emphasize on the evil and it scares people, but God is saying that afterwards, God will restore the nation with glory and brilliance and his divine protection. He is really going to protect the nation. He's definitely going to protect Nigeria. He's going to bring Nigeria to brilliance and splendor and greatness. And God will keep and preserve the remnants of the people, that those who are to stay behind. God is going to keep them and preserve them those who stay in the country, and even when foreigners, even when people of other nations try to come to spoil Nigeria, he will not allow them to work. He will, and when they try to destroy Nigeria, it will not come to pass because of the remnants. And that's why there are going to be remnants that are going to be in the country, so that as things are even going bad, he's going to keep his remnants and he will not allow Nigeria to be completely destroyed. All right. So he is still going to redeem Nigeria. He's going to take away the evil people, those who are doing evil to the country, those who are pushing for this injustice, that are corrupt, that are doing evil in the land. He's actually going to deal with them. They're going to get their answers. If they do not turn from their evil ways, they're going to actually answer to all of the blood that they have spilled, and all of the lives that have been lost, and all of the wickedness that they have done. They're actually going to answer to all the cries of the widows, and all the cries of the orphans, and all the cries of those who have lost loved ones. They're actually going to answer to all of their wickedness. So he's actually going to be doing that. But in that time of heat, when he's putting out his heat there, he's going to preserve his remnants, and it is with these remnants that he would preserve them even when foreigners try to come and invade. He's not going to allow them to be able to get Nigeria, because Nigeria will not be completely destroyed, because he is going to definitely redeem the country. And we are not to walk according to the ways of the world, but to fear God and not man. Now, this is about Nigerians, those who are actually going to go out and those who are going to even remain. Our walk with God is supposed to be, the fact that we fear God and not man. So we should not be afraid of what people are doing, what is happening around us, left, right, and center. We need to be focused on God, and we need to only fear God and not man. The God that will sanctify us and being our indestructible shelter. And God is saying that if we fear him and we are sold out to him, and we are not afraid of men, but we fear him, he would sanctify us and make us indestructible. He will create an indestructible shelter around us. That's what he's saying. And this particular message is not only for Nigerians. It's saying that we should come out from among them. That is across the nations. Christians across the world should come out from among them, should come out from among the evildoers, should separate themselves from the evil, should be set apart from the evildoers, should stand separate. Because when he's going to blow across the nations and judge the nations, if we are part of them, if he cannot even differentiate between you and the world, because you are acting like the world, then you would be roped in with the world. But then there needs to be that great demarcation between you and the world. So bring yourself apart. Do not just be like people that are just following the evil ways. Let there be a clear distinction between you and the way the world operates. Let your light shine so bright. Let there be a distinction, and he's going to create an indestructible shelter around you. So this particular message is, yes, for Nigeria, but not just for Nigeria alone, but for across the entire world. Separate yourself, separate yourself, separate yourself from the world. Now, when all these things happen for the country, Nigeria, we are supposed to seal these testimonies and share them with our children, so that they can know that there is a God indeed that is able to redeem the nation, and they can see how great and mighty God is. That's what he says. And that we are to share this message generations after generations after generations, so that they know what God has done for us. So this is important. And if this is also resonating with some of the things that you have heard from God, even for Nigeria, and even if you're not a Nigerian, if you're hearing this thing also aligning with your country or with anything that God has said to you, then please also pray about it. Ensure that as you hear this word, you don't just take it because somebody says so. Please go and pray and let God confirm his word to you. And when he does, let God lead you and guide you on the right actions to take. It is one thing to hear a message, it's another thing for you to be led by God and for you to walk according to the leading of God, so that you align with what he wants you to do and where he wants you to be per time and per season. May the Lord bless his word, and may the Lord fulfill every of his word that he has said upon us, and may the Lord redeem Nigeria, and may the Lord redeem his people and set his people apart and protect us and shield us from the destruction of the world as we're heading into the end times. May the Lord give us the discernment to observe what is going on in the times and to be alert spiritually, so that we do not make errors and make very dangerous errors. May we always be in alignment with God and walk according to God's leading and direction, in Jesus' name. Please, guys, this is a time for us to really do pray and to dwell in the presence of God. Remember the message that I shared in the last video about the fact that God is saying that we should depend on Him and that we should wait on Him, and He will lead us and He will guide us. This is the message that God is saying for, and the position that we are to take this season. We are to depend on God, we are to wait on God, and in that place of waiting, we should not take any action without Him. We should wait on Him. He would lead us and He would guide us. So don't make any move without God. Don't make any decision without God. Let God lead you and guide you. Pray without ceasing this season. Pray without ceasing. Pray continually and do not stop. Pray as you go about your day. Pray in the morning, pray at night. Pray as you go about your day. Pray continually and stay constantly in, awakeness in the spirit. Be awakened in the spirit and be sensitive in the spirit to know what is happening per time, per season, and let God lead you in the right, so that you can see the things that are even hidden. You can see it and it can be unfolded in your very eyes. The Lord is talking to His people, and the Lord is leading His people this season, and He is doing wonders, and He's liberating the world. As I said in the previous video, He's actually redeeming a lot of people and bringing a lot of people to the light of His self, and bringing people to the light and to the knowledge of Him. So it is our duty to share the word and to also teach the scriptures, so that we can do the work of winning a lot of souls for Him, and to nurture that soul and those souls and disciple those souls, so that they grow well and we can raise more kingdom ambassadors and soldiers for the army of God. Thank you guys so much for listening to this video. God bless you, and until I see you in the next video, please have a great day. And as the Lord begins to share more things to me, I would share that with you. Please also go to our channel, subscribe, and also go through the video list to see some of the amazing teachings that we have shared regarding different topics in the Bible. As I like to say, we are not bound by any denomination or doctrine. We simply use the Bible as our sole standard for everything that we believe. And so we open our doors wide and welcome you from all nations, from all tribes, from all places to come into the church, to come into this network and learn the scriptures and learn from God and get to grow as kingdom ambassadors and soldiers of the army of God. I love you guys and have a great day. Bye.